Hello, welcome to Economics in Short, Economics in 5 minutes. Today, I shall discuss the fundamental concepts. Earlier, in two parts, we had already discussed the fundamental concepts of scarcity, opportunity cost, and production possibility curve. Today, we shall discuss the most vital concepts of economics, which are regarded as the basis of decision-making process for both consumers as well as producers. I mean to say that I shall discuss about demand and supply. Demand. Demand in economics refers to the quantity of a good or service that consumers are willing and able, let me emphasize upon this, that consumers are willing and able to purchase at different prices. Similarly, supply refers to the quantity of a good or service that producers are willing and able to offer for sale in the market at different prices. Both these concepts are indeed very fundamental to economics because it determines the level of price and the quantities to be provided for sale and purchase in the market. Now, we can discuss about the different determinants of demand. The foremost determinant of demand is price of the good. That is, a change in price will lead to a change in quantity demanded of a good or services. Here, we can also elaborate here itself that the functional relationship between the price and the quantity of good, other things being equal, are inversely related. That is, when only we consider the price, other determinants remaining same, then the function of the change in demand is price of the good. This inverse relationship, when portrayed through a table, that is, when price is increasing, quantity demanded will decrease, and the vice versa. This can be represented with a graph. When it is represented in a graph, we derive the demand curve from that demand schedule. And that demand curve will slope downwards from left to right, indicating the fact that there is an inverse relationship between price and quantity demanded. The other determinants of demand are the income of the consumer. Here, normally, I mean in case of normal goods, when the income increases, the demand also increases, and the vice versa. So in case of normal goods, the income and quantity demanded are positively related. So we can call the income effect in case of normal goods to be positive. Whereas if we consider the inferior goods case, in case of inferior goods, the situation will be different. That is, with the increase in income, the demand for inferior goods will decrease. And with a decrease in income, the demand for inferior goods will increase. So, there will be a negative relationship between income and quantity demanded of inferior goods. So, in case of inferior goods, the income effect can be called as negative. But in case of defense goods, the situation would be different. That we shall discuss later on. So, let me reiterate that in case of normal goods, the income effect is positive, whereas in case of inferior goods, the income effect is negative. The next determinant of demand is prices of related goods. Here, by related goods, I mean the substitutes and complements. That is, take for example, tea and coffee are both substitutes. So a change in the price of any of these two goods will affect the quantity demanded of other goods. Similarly, regarding complements goods, that is, take the case of your petrol or diesel and car. Change in the price of any of these two will lead to a change in the price of the quantity demanded of the other. The next determinant, the taste and preferences of the consumer. Taste and preferences of the consumer never remain static. It goes on changing with changed time. So, a change in taste and preferences of the consumer would also affect the quantity demanded. The next determinant which determines the quantity demanded is expectations of future prices. That is, if the price of a good is increasing and the consumers expect that this rise of price will continue for a longer period, then in spite of this rise, they will purchase more of that good. So this is how expectations affect the demand. Next, which is very important in the present days, in the days of consumerism, is the effect of advertisements. The brand, which determines the brand of the good, advertisements. So, advertisements influence to a very great extent in the present days regarding the demand of the good. Last but not the least, the number of buyers in the market, the change in the number of buyers in the market will also affect the demand. That is very simple. When population increases, the number of buyers would also increase. That is quite obvious. So it also affects the demand. In the present day context, I would like to point out one of the most important determinant is the change in fashion that leads to a change in the trend of the consumer. The fashion is changing so rapidly and consumers are affected and influenced by the celebrities who advertise for different types of fashion, that it affects the demand in the market to a very great extent. So, this much on demand. In the next, we shall discuss about the supply concept. Thank you.